Today's July 5th, almost midnight. Look at the rotation and the vibration coming off of that moon. That is not natural. Today's July 5th, almost midnight. That is not natural. The moon is behind those perceived clouds that are flashing. That is not natural. Okay, welcome back, my friends. Today we are going to get into some incredible footage that I captured, and now we know exactly what they're doing and why it is that they are spraying like it's nobody's business, okay? Because these particulates are required for holographic projection, and we're going to start off just very basic understanding of how these holographic projections are created. And what they do is with this here, by ionizing these particles such as barium, strontium, and aluminum, it creates plasma. This goes back to November 5th, 2014. This technology uses infrared pulse laser. Okay, and that's going to make a lot of sense to us. Now, like I said, this is just going to be basic teaching 101 on this technology, and in upcoming vids, if people are interested, then we'll get much more into how this actually works, because this too is new to me. Now, I always knew what it was used for, and that this cloaked craft technology that we actually have seen in previous vids that I've shown, and I'm going to show again here. I've known that it was cloaked with some sort of electromagnetic pulse radiation, but I didn't understand how it was done. Okay, which is focused on direct points in the air via a 3D scanner. Now, that could come exactly from the actual cloaked craft or from drones that are in the air that can create a holographic plasma type cloud formation that hides what is inside there. At this stage, the molecules in the air are ionized to create plasma. Okay? Now, let's get into how this works here. It's holographic technology through using strontium, barium, aluminum, and the chemtrails. Okay, it's used for holographic technology. The sky is one big movie screen. Okay, again, aluminum, barium, and strontium. They call it the New Manhattan Project, which just means that this is the greatest new technology that they are bringing out to the forefront, and I have proof because what I captured on the 3rd and on the 5th is going to reveal exactly what they're doing. And in upcoming vids, we're going to get more into not only what they're doing, but what they are hiding, because I also have captured what they are hiding. Now, going all the way back, okay, as we see here, this is supposedly a contrail, right? A condensation trail. But we know for a fact that this is all sorts of metals and particulates, smart dust and nanotechnology that they put into the atmosphere. That way, when it's ionized, it turns into plasma that I had shown here in the ether vibrational shift video. We can see how, if you follow the cursor there, of course the clouds are pulsating just a second ago. Let's look at it again. The clouds are actually pulsating. Okay, and that's because they're ionized and charged with electromagnetic radiation. So let's hit pause there. and go to this one here where there'll be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, a video that I had done. Now this is going to also show, look at these clouds here. I was filming them because I knew darn well that these weren't clouds. This was cloaked, something, they're hiding something in there, likely a cloaked craft that Gina Maria Colville Hill has edge detect software. Let's listen to what she says real briefly here, and then we'll continue on.
Look at here. Look inside here, and or ships in there. Look at that. One more zoom. Boom. We can do this. We can do this together. We can watch it together. Look at that. And
yeah, I've seen these ships for years and years and years, and they are cloaked within here. You can see how it vibrates. Okay, that's because that's pulse radiation from ionized particles such as barium, strontium, and aluminum, which creates plasma. That plasma field creates a plasma bubble that they can go ahead. These are actually craft. This would be what would be considered a plasma bubble of ionized particles. And that is what hides what is underneath that. And I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys. Because when we look at this here, during the day that they're out, I live near a military base, an Air Force base, which is why I have a unique perspective, an international airport, and a small Army base. So when they show that, Harold Kotz Vela, who's AI, nanotechnology, smart dust, and Morgellons expert, he shows us here with his infrared light what it looks like in the evening. And this goes all the way back to 2014. I'm sorry, I'm having some internet issues. So let's get back from that. And what they need, those particles that Harold Kotz Vela was showing in that video, to create holographic projections like this. This was done in South Korea at a baseball game using 5G holographic technology. And this is for entertainment. This is what they show us for entertainment. And notice how dark and gray the clouds are. Okay, because they need this so that they can create this. Now also, on my videos here on my blog page, let's increase this in size because I want you guys to see the electromagnetic pulse. And I'm going to turn this up so we can hear it. See the pulsing in the air. See the pulsing.
Electromagnetic pulse, guys. And it's even way, way deeper than that.
That's because they use it, and you cannot miss that pulse. That is not even enhanced in any way. This is just was on low light. It was a late summer, early morning. I had my camera set on low light, and this is what I saw was pulsing and flashing in my camera. That's how I knew there was an electromagnetic pulse. That's radiation. Okay, so let's back out of this, and let's you can check that whole clip out on my webpage if you'd like. And of course, this is from the Project Bluebeam vids. Nothing is new under the sun. Okay, so for people that don't want to believe in aliens, you know, per se aliens, which are actually fallen entities in a host biological suit, they can then write it off as, okay, that's just technology. There's no such thing as aliens. It's a hoax. Well, these fallen entities have been here since the beginning of time. We know that they mixed every creeping thing and every living creature and created hybrid offspring of everything to mock God, just as they're doing in the days of today. So as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. So let's look here. We showed Gina Maria Colville Hill, with her edge detect software, has proven that hidden inside these cloud formations right here that vibrate, okay, and that's because there's an electromagnetic pulse to it. These are not real clouds, it's plasma. It's ionized particles that are cloaking whatever they do not want us to see. So let's get started with the vid, guys, because I have some truly amazing footage to reveal. I want you to notice this laser dot right here. And this is going to be me walking on July 3rd, getting ready to go look at the moon. And I was saying how odd it seemed. There's the next laser dot, and there it is on my nose.
Last night there was like a full moon. Now there's no moon whatsoever. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that certainly was weird. And yeah, this is where I noticed when I looked closely that somebody was shining a laser sight right on me, whether it be a laser pen, which I highly doubt, because the powers that be in this neighborhood most definitely like to make themselves known to me. Now this is just for them to psychologically harass me and put fear into me, which I have no fear. As a matter of fact, they'd be doing me a favor by pulling that trigger. but the hand of God is suppressing them and not allowing them to do so, because I have received that seal of the living God. This was taken on July 3rd. Let's continue on and hear what I had to say.
I don't know. Find out if it comes out later.
This is just me heading up into that great big field to start recording the moon because I realized that it was out. So let's have a look at what I recorded.
It can't escape us. It is pulsing now. I'm only at 6 zoom. Boy, that's a bizarre pulse.
Yes, that sure is a bizarre pulse, and this is not even enhanced. Now, the reason why I can see the pulse is because in my cam, which is a great cam, it has 5 lenses. I use what's called sine view, so this is using approximately, I think, 3 to 4 lenses during this recording. And right away, I notice, now this is very far away. This has to be at least a couple of football fields long. Do you notice the shape of this? And this is not enhanced. This is the original footage from July 3rd. I was walking down the hill, and then I turned around and noticed that the moon was humongous and it was rising above the tree line. So I then walked up to my favorite field, which is like a 20 or 30 acre lot of a farmer, and it's a beautiful field, and I love to film up there and take pictures, because taking pictures, videography, photography is a hobby of mine. Let's continue to watch.
Let's go a little deeper. Look at this in my software. Wow, that's weird looking. I mean, if you guys can't see that pulse, I'll be able to pull it out of my software. Take care.
And I sure did pull it out my software. Notice as we zoom in how it starts to just vibrate like crazy. Now this was just darkened up a little, and you can see this craft rising above. Now let's pause for a second. There is actually, this is an opening. There are other craft flying into this. You can see the shape. There's the tail. It has like a jet almost, and it goes down like this, and this is the opening, and this here is a craft that is either coming out of or going into. And actually there's a craft up here as well, and this is the moon. This is only slightly enhanced, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let's continue to watch. Now as we see these particles, okay, this is from the chemtrails. These are ionized particles that create plasma for holographic technology to create cloaking for these cloaked craft. This is fallen angel technology. It's been around since the beginning of time. Now this is not edited. This is exactly what it looks like. It's only enlarged in my software. And here you can see where it is enhanced. It looks as if this is a cockpit right here. And here it is enhanced again. You can see as it's rising, there are craft going in and out of this, as well as one right above here. This is clearly the nose. And now you're seeing the top of it as it rises up above the ionized plasma bubble. And there it is. Now this probably could be seen with the naked eye if I was able to see that far. But it was so far away that I could not see it. I had to enlarge it on my software. This is not lens distortion of any sort. This is just now what I am able to capture through the apocalypse, which simply means unveiling. This is just incredible. We can see here, as I hit pause, that this here, let's find a better spot, is actually the tail end of a ship. It looks identical to this right here. And this looks like another craft of some sort that is either leaving or coming back. And there's a triangle shaped one right here that are leaving this ramp, is all I can say. And you can clearly see the nose, and this is what looks like the cockpit. Goes up and around. Now this has to be, like I said, a couple of football fields long, because that's how far away I am. And that's how I know this, because even when I maxed out my zoom, it was still fairly small. And that's a beautiful shot. You could see the edges, including the top one. These are two artificial craft, and this is a beautiful still that's enlarged. You can see the shape.
We got some pulsation going on in the moon again.
Now this here is the same evening, I believe. This is still at the field that I was at, 20, 30, possibly even 40 acres they have. Now notice this perceived cloud here, the black matter dots that are there, and the pulsation that is coming off of this moon. Now there's three colors that are very, very relevant: green, red, and blue, for infrared laser holographic technology. That we'll get into in upcoming vids. As this video progresses, you're going to see infrared lasers that are used to cloak not only these perceived plasma clouds that are ionized, but also to cloak things that are actually on the ground and all around us that we'll cover in upcoming videos. Let's have a look.
And again, we have that body right there. There's the bright one to the upper right of the moon, and there's a dim one right there.
Right there.
It keeps flickering on and off, but that pulse is bizarre.
Do you see the pulse coming off of this moon? Okay, now this moon to me does not look like the moon of old. This is something that, through this great apocalypse, now that we have a greater aperture to see more than just what is in front of us, we have the ability now to take in so much more through our raising and our vibration, through our heightened level of spiritual awareness. As we draw ourselves closer to Father God, He reveals so much more. Because all this isn't new to me, but I had no idea how it worked, and now He is revealing to me exactly how it works. So try to pay attention now to the pulsing of light that comes off of this perceived moon. No, I'm not saying it's not the moon, but they somehow, they meaning those who are in control of all mankind, have done something, technologically speaking, to create a pulse to come off of these heavenly objects, these bodies that are in ether, such as that small object to the left and the very bright one that looks like a small moon over to the right. Let's continue on.
There's only 3 zoom.
That's lens flare, by the way. But I also want you to notice, now please, pay attention not only to this and to the objects that are very clear to us, but pay attention also to the perceived clouds that are out and about, because they are flashing and pulsing as well, and that is because they are ionized EMF pulse radiation. The particulates in there have created plasma, which is an ionized radiation that creates holographic technology to hide whatever it is that the powers that be do not want us to see.
It's gargantuan tonight. You seeing these things flying around? See it down by the tree line? Right there.
Okay, down here I want you guys to look. Now look at these odd light formations that are coming off of this. Okay, now pay attention down here. We're going to look closely at this. Now you're also going to notice, just like an old school, like back in the day when you'd have the TV on before cable, and yeah, sometimes the TV screen would kind of get these lines going through it as you would get caught in between stations, or the transmission from the rabbit ears from the antenna just weren't making that great connection. That's an anomaly that we're going to look at. And all of this shifting of all of these, you know, it may look like pixelation to everybody, and that's just because people have gotten used to. And look, you could even see a line coming down here, which we're going to get more into, but people have grown more accustomed to this as just being lens distortion. That is really frequency distortion in the ether itself. Okay? That is lens distortion from the frequency in the ether. EMF radiation. Let's continue to watch.
See it down by the tree line? Right there.
Right there. Do we see these lines going across? Now look at this. This is something that you're going to start to see more and more and more of. Look at how this is just like, almost like interference. Interference in some sort of projection, okay? Because let's not forget that the air is filled with this smart dust, nanoparticulates, aluminum, strontium, barium, every type of metal that they could put out on us, and that is so that they can charge them with EMF radiation. It becomes ionized and becomes plasma, so that they can go ahead and manipulate the world that we see through our eyes. This was revealed to me through God the Father. Okay, this was not something that I was able to understand on my own. Now look at right here again. This, it looks as if there's a glitch in the matrix, and there it is again. These aren't the same pictures. This is, I'm stopping as it goes. Look at this thing taking off. Watch that. Follow it. And then did you see it? Look at the flickering in the matrix here. This is the ether that is glitching out. It is glitching out. It is as
That's
if,
at 9 zoom.
I'm sorry. It's as if a signal, just like on your TV screen. Let's watch it again. It's like on your TV screen, if you didn't have cable TV, it starts to flicker and see these lines going through, just like it would be on your TV. Okay, we're looking at a glitch in their broadcasting transmission of these frequency waves. It couldn't be any more obvious to me. And there, look at this black object that just manifested and then disappeared. As this orb gets flying around again, okay, shifting colors, goes down into the trees, and there's another glitch in their frequency that they broadcast, or should I say, the frequency that is in the air. It is everywhere. It's all around us.
It's at 9 zoom. Today is July 5th. Almost midnight. 6 zoom.
That's a plane that you hear, by the way. I do live next to an international airport. Now what I want you guys to recognize are these black dots that are all flying around. And I don't want you just looking, okay, because we got to look at other things than just what is standing out right in front of us. This, obviously, I had to change the contrast and the temperature and exposure and all sorts of things so that I could bring these things out. Now, what's not unusual, I've done vid after vid after vid of these, what I called a spiritual bubble at the time, and perhaps it is, that I'm still discerning on, but it is also a plasma bubble. And these entities, okay, these dark matter entities, they are encased within this plasma bubble of sorts, and also in here of sorts, and that's also cloaked craft technology. Let's watch. Okay, as we watch it shift around, this is July 5th now at midnight. This was at midnight in my backyard. Look at all of these entities swarming. Now first, let's stop right here. This is where it gets very exciting. Okay, this is what is called infrared holographic technology. It's used for a number of reasons. Today we're going to stick to how it is used to cloak. Okay, what we see here is a perceived cloud. It's a very, very dark. It's very, very dark, but this is actually ionized particles that it becomes plasma once they are ionized, and that is how they are able to cloak and how they are able to use this holographic technology that is likely thousands of years more advanced than we have any idea to. Look at the light right here, and now let's just let it play.
And the vibration coming off of that moon, that is not natural. Looking forward to getting that in my software.
Okay, now I want you to notice these entities that are caught up inside of these spiritual bubbles. See, there's a black one there. They're swarming around in here and they cannot escape these plasma bubbles. Now this here is actually another cloaked craft. Do you see it starting to rise? Do you see the shape of it? We're going to look at it, okay? Do you see it starting to rise? See it starting to rise. It is the exact same shape as that one that we saw in the field on July the 3rd. Okay, and that was just, it wasn't even fully dark out that night, but this is the exact same shape. And I'm willing to say even the same craft as this one here. The same shape. There's the nose, the same triangle pattern. There's the nose there. And as we see, enhanced better, it is triangle. You could even see the shadows. And there is the craft once again. It has a long tail. Now let's look here, okay? And I want you to notice in these darker areas in between the clouds, as I change the temperature more and the exposure to bring out the pixels of this, how they are not what we see with the naked eye. There's so much more happening. It's unspeakable. Now look in here. All the different colors, and notice I'm colorblind, but my wife told me that they are red and green and blue, and that would make up the perfect 3 colors that are needed and required. There's an entity right there for these holographic, this holographic technology. Okay, let's hit pause. Now this here could not prove any more to me, or to my wife rather. Also, look at this. These are lasers. That means there is either drones in here, or it's being broadcast from another location, which I find to be highly unlikely. It is likely craft or drones or technology that is completely autonomous, that is within these dark perceived clouds. Now let's continue to watch as this just gets more and more crazy. Okay, I had to do a lot of adjusting on the lighting because as I was looking at it, all I could see with my highly trained eyes for this sort of thing was lines, just darker lines going through the perceived clouds. And as I started to work on it for hours and hours, I was able to bring out the colors to great detail. Let's continue to watch. Now this is at midnight in my backyard. I have a good sized property, nearly an acre. So I have a lot of room to walk around and check things out. And this was one night that was incredible. They even were shooting at me as I was walking back to my house, which I'll show you later. This looks very Matrix-like to me, like we are living in a holographic projection, as I have stated in previous vids. Look at this pulse. They are pulsing lasers shooting down. Now this is also used for surveillance, but I will save that for another video. I have seen the patents. These are, my wife told me these are dark blue and red, but I'm had a very difficult time trying to bring out the green. So we just go with what we can, but it could not be any more obvious that looking at these lasers shooting down, as I hit pause here, this is technology. Now, the reason why I don't believe that this technology is being broadcast from another location is because people aren't picking this up everywhere. I happen to live very near to an Air Force base, so it's a high chance, a high probability that they are testing and using this technology in my area of the world, rather than in other areas where they may not have military bases nearby. So I'm literally on the front lines here, and Father God revealed this to me. He revealed all this to me. So glory to God. This is not of my own doing. I mean, just look at this. It is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But also, these beams may be projecting into individual houses for monitoring. Okay, let's pause. Now we see this one here. Okay, and this one here I've been monitoring for a long time. This is one that's new that I just started monitoring within weeks. Okay, and I got a good close-up of it as I enlarged it and brought out the detail. And this one here looks like a second moon, like a small moon that has objects actually orbiting it, which we'll look into later on in the vid. Let's take a listen and look.
On each side of the moon, there's the bright moon right there.
And that was lens flare.
With a vibration, of course.
That.
And then right there, right above, to the right, to the left. Two bodies. Very large, actually. And super bright. Looks like a moon in itself.
Sure does.
And that one there, much more dim.
Let's bring this out. Right there, you see it? Now here we go. We enlarge it. Clearly, that looks like a body of some sort. It looks like a rock or like it clearly looks like a body of some sort that is not something I've seen before. So I've been keeping an eye on that, and I will continue to keep an eye on it. But let's continue on.
but it's a body nonetheless, and they can both be seen with the naked eye.
Yes, that's true. I can see them with the naked eye. Okay, so now let's look here, not only at the moon, but here I want you to see how these all pulse with red, blue, and green, because they are infrared holographic technology. Let's look.
Look at that body right there. The moon is behind those perceived clouds that are flashing. That body I've been watching for, I don't even know, at least a week or more. I've caught it during the day, so it's been at least a month.
And that's true. I did capture it during the day. And if you were looking down here at these, I didn't bring the colors out as much, but they are pulsing with those lasers, those blue and red lasers continually. Let's continue on. See them pulsing. See those lasers. Look at that. That is just incredible. This is just unbelievable technology that is being used that nobody is even aware about. If this isn't the greatest apocalypse ever, then I wouldn't know what else to call it. Let's continue on. And there we go again and again. Now this is where it all started. That craft, these are cloaked craft, and that's why they use this technology, because this craft has been around for a long, long time. Look at all those. Look at them all. Now this is me walking home. Okay, let me clear this up. This is me walking back to my house after I was recording. This was now well after midnight. After I was done recording, I was walking home. Now you'll be able to see, if I was to slow it down, just some blips of light, and that's where they were actually shooting directed energy at me as I was walking home. Now these aren't men, these aren't people that are standing in my yard. These are actual entities that manifest, and then they manifest and disappear as quickly as they manifest, only to shoot directed energy at me. But they miss every time, because thank God and all glory to Father and His Christ, I am protected. Let's have a listen and a watch. As you can see, there's nothing to see. It's pitch black out there. But wait till we change the lighting on it. Please stand by. Now let's watch. Okay, this is me now with the light changed. As you saw, there was nothing to see there, but let's watch what happens as I'm walking back now with the light, and with the temperature of the lighting changed, so that we can now see what is actually being shot at me within the spiritual realm, within this ether. Let's have a look. There was one. There's another one. Boom. Look at that. It just shot right out. Let's see if there's another one. Whoa. Two more. That is incredible. These were shot, I looked closely, these were shot from all the way across the street. And there's me again with the laser pointer right on my cheek. This is just gang stalking, harassment. They try to bring fear. There's one right on my neck. This is all done on July 3rd. There it is on my nose and on my cheek. And of course, right by my ear on my neck. Alright, so on that, my friends, I look forward to seeing you again real soon, because now I have opened up a new Pandora's box and a rabbit hole to jump down, and I'll look forward to sharing with you real soon. And to all my friends out there, you know who you are. Much love from God the Father, and I will see you soon. Take care.